I get started. It's UFC 268, which I am actually buying. This fight is fucking crazy. That was the best press conference ever, and I just, yeah. Oh, there you go. There's some CPA exam stuff. Let's see. Predictions. I'm going to start with Justin Gaethje and Michael Chandler. I'm going to go ahead and predict Chandler. I think Chandler's going to get him. He's very explosive and he's a good grappler. And I think Gaethje kind of reminds me of Chuck Liddell a little bit, where he kind of uses his wrestling just to keep it standing. And he was actually saying Michael Chandler is a bitch if he shoots, basically, at the press conference. Can you pour me another wine, by the way?
You got it to me?
Yes.
Yeah, I can. In a minute. Oh, she's sleeping.
So I don't know if Justin Gaethje's smart enough to like be training his wrestling for 8 weeks and say that so that Michael Chandler gets the impression that he's like, oh, so I know he wants to keep the fight standing, so I better go and shoot and do a takedown because that's not where he wants to go. But in reality, he trained 8 months to basically grapple with Chandler. I don't think Gaethje would do that. I think he wants to stand up and fight. I don't know. I think he might have a longer reach actually than Chandler. Who has a longer reach? Does it say right here? It's kind of crazy because when I saw Chandler, he looked like pretty fucking short. 5'11". Frankie Edgar's on that card too. I didn't even know that. I'm kind of surprised that Chandler and Gaethje isn't the third from the last fight. Yeah, how tall is Chandler? 5'8". Yeah, he did look really short. I don't know what he does to look short, but he visibly looks short. I'm only 2 inches taller than him too. I wish it showed his fucking reach. Reach 70 inches. I got Chandler reach 71. So Chandler has a little bit longer arms. That's gonna be a pretty good fight. I think I'm gonna stick with my guess of Justin Gaethje though. Um, let's see. I think on the last UFC I didn't predict a single correct winner. Let's see. Shane Burgos and Billy Quarantillo. I'm a little embarrassed to admit I haven't watched a single one of those fights. Here. Frankie Edgar and Marlon Vera. I kind of think Frankie Edgar actually might win. He's on a bit of a losing streak from the KO of Corey Sandhagen, but you know Usman and him are training to try to get better together. He lost to Brian Ortega. I got KO'd by him. I didn't know that. I don't think I'll watch that fight. Because who hasn't lost to Max Holloway? Max Holloway is basically the same as Alexander Volkanovski. If there could be two champions, it would be those two. Let's see. Marlon Vera beat Sean O'Malley. Sean O'Malley calls himself undefeated. Oh, Cheeto Vera. He looks so different. I don't know why I didn't. That fight was kind of a weird one. You know what? I hope Marlon Vera wins because if Marlon Vera wins, he'll be pretty far up there in 145. I believe. I think this is 145. It's gotta be fucking hard for Frankie Edgar to be in that age to make 145. Rose Namajunas versus Zhang Wali. Wish they showed the odds, and I'm pulling for Rose. I'm just gonna predict Rose. Um, it's kind of crazy. She's 10-4, and that is not a ton. But you can't doubt Rose. She especially the way she got rid of put away Joanna Jędrzejczyk. Um, that was absolutely nuts. Zhang Wali. I kind of think Zhang Wali might get her this time. Mostly because I don't think Rose has a lot of information on what because it was over so quickly in the first round with the KO head kick that shit. If I was Rose, I'd just be feinting head kicks with my hips. I'd just load up the hips and act like it. Usman and Covington. Colby Covington's gonna be the winner, and that is because he's the people's champion. He's America's champion, and it's Colby Covington. But I actually hope Colby wins. He has brought. I remember when I first found him. I remember a lot of people would just shit on him, other MMA fighters in interviews, and I'm like, who the fuck is Colby Covington? And he's from the Simpsons' hometown of Springfield, Oregon. So another reason to root for him. To be honest, like he basically he has the resume of Jake Shields. He isn't exactly the most exciting fighter with his finish rate. Like 8 decisions, you got a 50% chance this is going to be a decision, basically, based off of the track record, which isn't exactly the best. But the last fight was a decision as well. I think a lot of people think Usman's going to put him away cleaner and quicker. He might. I think Colby's jaw is pretty good on a fresh tank of gas. I think he might probably try to use some ground game, but you know, if that works out for him, I don't think he. I mean, everybody talks shit about how he doesn't have power in his hands. I kind of agree with that because uh, who has he even? He TKO'd Woodley, but that wasn't even due to a punch. Yeah, UFC Fight Night 48. Holy crap, in 2014. Submission to punches. I mean, he is a high volume striker. I think Robbie Lawler is honestly still championship level. The way he automatically just dismantled Robbie Lawler was impressive. Lawler is fucking crazy. The way he absolutely fucking destroyed Ben Askren was disappointing to see him lose. Just 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 fuck. So yeah, those are my guesses.